Okay, guys. The other day I made a video regarding the kerfuffle that's going on right now, and to a lot of people, this is like a really terrifying thing, that the concept that streamers, uploaders are going to be facing felony charges and prison time if there's a DMCA complaint filed against them. And the fear is, of course, it could just be for the most superfluous of things. They're streaming, some copyrighted music is played for whatever reason in the background by somebody they're interacting with on a video game, or maybe their phone rings, whatever the case may be. People are concerned that now they're going to go to prison because of a bullshit DMCA claim. That, I'll reiterate, that is not the case. This is all based on this bill that is sponsored by Senator Tom Tillis and others, talking about turning certain DMCA violations into felonies. Now, I'm going to link to you guys the original video I made on this. It's right. The link is in the description. I'm going to give you guys some more details here as well, because obviously, judging by the comments and the continuing conversations online, there's still a lot of confusion. But I'm going to link the original video here. In it, I read to you directly from the bill itself. This is not hearsay. This is not stuff that's being bandied around social media. From the bill itself. Okay, this bill speaks directly and only to pirate sites. Websites that are set up strictly and solely for the express purpose of posting copyrighted materials, typically movies, could be music, TV shows, anything else. Now, what's important to note here, and by all means, when you go to the link I give you to the original video, not only for the video, go into the comments section. First of all, I have a pin post there to explain more, but also there have been several questions I've been answering as they've come in, which might help to explain things for you. But here's the deal. This bill is complete, unless you're going to operate a pirate site, it is completely separate from any existing DMCA or copyright issues, complaints, so on and so forth. So what I'm saying, and this is where the confusion comes in, this will not add anything to any issues you may have. Yes, DMCA complaints, particularly over at Twitch, are an issue. This is not going to alleviate them. It's not going to exacerbate them. It is an entirely separate thing. Now, some people have expressed concern that, well, it's a slippery slope. Whenever you create more legislation or stiffer penalties for these types of violations, it's just an easy step to coming after the individual. That's not true. The one thing listen, this bill, by law, because it so explicitly states what the purpose is a standalone issue. Now, I'll bet you money, Tom Tillis, Senator Tillis, or most anybody in high positions of government in the states right now even have any idea of what's going on with the DMCA complaints at Twitch. That's not typically their purview. It's not stuff that they're up on. They have no idea that going on. This is simply an attempt to stop pirating sites. And yes, the big motion picture companies, music companies, they give a lot of money to politicians. But trying to stop pirate sites, I don't see in any way, shape, or form. And basically, it's always been illegal to run a pirate site. It's just now they want to make it a felony charge. I don't see an issue with that. This is not a slippery slope. Nobody's interested in coming after the little guy. I've seen nothing to indicate anybody is interested in coming after the little guy. And if they were, it can't be based off this bill. It would have to be an entirely new standard, an entirely new bill, an entirely new concept. And trust me, you're not going to get any kind of support for putting small-time individual streamers and uploaders in prison because there might have been some copyrighted music or content in their stream or in their video. Nobody's looking to do that. There's a process for that. We already have an existing process. If somebody feels their copyright's been violated, we know what the process is, and they can take you to court over it. There's no impetus for anybody to go after individuals as felony offenders. There just isn't, guys. I mean, and trust me, I'll be the first one to call government out when they're doing egregious things. But this is just simply trying to stop the big pirate sites. That's what puts a dent into the music companies and more so into the movie industry. That's who they're after. This is not a slippery slope. It's a very specific bill looking to get rid of a very specific group of people who are doing nefarious things that are costing a lot of money to to the movie production companies. That's it. Now, and again, this is what's important. Because I'm saying this has nothing to do with exacerbating your DMCA concerns, those concerns remain. That's its own separate issue. Again, if you've had your Twitch account removed because of some bullshit reason, because of something that played for 10 seconds during your stream, that's a problem. And I think in a lot of these cases that I've been seeing, if and when somebody does take it to court, they're going to have everything reinstated, because copyright law, I can make a separate video on this at some point if you guys want. Copyright law does address things such as incidental copyrighted material being within another work. And anybody who's being hit for incidental copyrighted work being within their stream, yeah, that they have no, I don't believe anyway, they have no, the production company has no legal right to come after you for it. A lot of copyright law is kind of vague. Fair use law is extremely vague, and I believe that in the case of fair use, that is by design, because they want to take these things on a case-by-case basis. So yes, there's a lot of bullshit going on, but this specific Tillis bill is not going to make things worse for you, and you are not, as an individual, you will not be going to prison because of a DMCA complaint filed against your stream or your video, period. And it is not a slippery slope. It is a very pointed bill trying to stop piracy. That's it. Everybody can stop freaking out. Go ahead, do your thing. Understand that, yes, the DMCA system in a lot of instances is broken and it's being abused by some people, but this bill is not going to put you in prison. It's going to be the same situation, status quo that it always was, where a company can file the claim, it can end up in court, and worst case scenario, if they could prove, which they wouldn't be able to, that you somehow harmed them financially, you could be on the hook for the financial harm that you did to this production company. You're not going to jail. Talk to you guys later.